Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 27th of April 2025. In today's Millwall news, apparently Liam Roberts is set to be back for next week's game, and this is from Alan Nixon. Now, I don't subscribe to Alan Nixon's Patreon. If you don't know who Alan Nixon is, I believe he was a journalist of the Daily Telegraph. He may still be. He was commonly found posting rumours and insider knowledge on Twitter, and he decided, you know what, I can make some money out of this, and he left. This was before Elon come in with the old revenue sharing thing and for views and whatever. So he went to Patreon, set up a thing where you pay him a weekly fee or whatever it is, monthly fee, and you can get all the news that he has. And he's been doing that, and apparently today he put this up because he does it. I think he does it every Sunday. So this is what he put up today. Millwall keeper back for finale. Millwall keeper Liam Roberts should be back for the final game to get the Lions out of a hole. Roberts is expected to be fit for the trip to Burnley, and that will let rookie George Evans take a step back out of the side. The Lions have been looking for short-term loans without any luck and can now focus on signing a new keeper for next season. As a first choice, Lucas Jensen could be sidelined for 9 months. So there you go. Some good news. Liam Roberts coming in as we face the team with the best defence in the league, the team that hasn't lost a home game yet, the team that hasn't lost in, I think, 32 games. And the last time they lost, the team that beat them was named Millwall. I believe that's in the league. I'm not sure about cup games, but so here we go. We have a chance. We have a keeper. Hopefully he is fit and not, just being patched up to come in. There was some rumours that he would be available for the Swansea game, so I would imagine he's training, and then they decided, he's not quite there yet, or he himself decided that, which is, fair enough. Good that he didn't try and force it. But he's apparently set to be back for next week, so good stuff. Now, moving on to this. This is from SwanseaCity.com. Okay. And it is the full match from the game on Saturday. The whole game. If you don't believe me, watch this. There you go. The full game. And it's just there. It's publicly available. You don't have to log in. You don't have to pay any money behind the paywall. No subscription. So if you wanted to watch the game back, or you haven't seen the full game, just the highlights, you wanted to watch the full game, see how we're actually playing, whether you're evaluating whether we have a chance next week, there you go. So, yeah, it's on Swansea City. This is a thing they do. Fair enough to them. There you go. Now, moving on to this. If you have not seen this, please don't tell me this is going to load again. Okay. So this is from the Edinburgh Evening News. Here we go. Can we... Okay. This shit's just going to play in the background. Alright, this is from the Edinburgh Evening News.scotsman.com. So, if you haven't seen it, Kevin Nisbet scored an absolutely amazing goal for Aberdeen as they beat Hibernian 1-0, which is his former team, and he did celebrate. So I don't think he's going to be going back to Hibernian anytime soon. He was standing just outside the area. The ball comes in, crossed in. He chests the ball, deadens it with his chest. As the ball's dropping, he touches the ball with the top of his foot. I say shoot because it's a very slight touch. A volley, nonetheless. And he dinks it bang in the top corner. Right into the top right-hand corner of it, from his perspective, not the goalkeeper's. And it just floats right up there. Tucked right up in the right corner. Absolutely fantastic goal. And it was it turned out to be a match winner. So obviously, again, they asking the manager, like, bro, you going to sign him or what? Like, is he going to be here next season? Because we want to know. Do we celebrate? Like, what can we do? Or are we just going to start crying or greeting? We're going to start greeting that he's going to be leaving. So, Aberdeen boss addresses Millwall loanee's transfer status after former Hibs star downed ex-club. Yeah, the Hibs came out on the wrong side of a tight... Obviously, this is Edinburgh newspapers that are talking from Hibs' perspective. Hibs came out on the wrong side of a tight contest and they fell to a narrow defeat of Premiership rivals Aberdeen on Saturday. Aberdeen head coach Jimmy Teelan hailed his players as they became first side to beat Hibs in a Premiership game since December, as he addressed the future of Millwall loanee, formerly of Easter Road. Hibs were full foul of former striker Kevin Nisbet, who made sure to haunt his old club with a neat touch and finish from the edge of the area that ensured the Dons moved level on points with his former employers. He's on loan from Millwall, who signed him from Hibs in 2023. Phelan was delighted with his players' performance and believes the concentration and matureness they showed helped them claim what could be invaluable 3 points against the Hibs side he praised for one important aspect of their game. The Dons boss said, with this game at home, there was a lot of pressure. I trust the players and they also trust one another. They showed that in the semi-final win against Hearts and also against Hibs. Hibs are a good team who are really fast in transitions. And when they pick up the second ball with how they attack, Hibs can cause problems. So we had to have full concentration for the whole game, and that concentration and matureness was shown today, and how we managed the game in the last minutes was really nice to see. And also with the squad, so many players are back and available, and they bring other qualities to the team when they need it, everybody's focused on the right things. The sting in the tail for Hibs came when former Easter Road striker Nisbet grabbed the winning goal with just 9 minutes remaining to end his former club's incredible unbeaten run. The Scotland striker is set to return to English Championship club Millwall when his loan spell at Pittodrie comes to a close at the end of the season. And Don's boss Phelan has addressed Nisbet's long-term transfer status, conceding the former Hibs man as a real asset for his side. He said, it was a superb goal, as Kevin found a way to get off the shot in the situation with real quality. And, Kevin has scored some similar goals this season. He's a real asset for us when the games are so tight and you need your goal scorers in those moments. He's still not our player. We're happy that Kevin is here and he looks happy, and I can't talk about other teams' players, but right now he's here and we're still happy he's here. Obviously, he keeps getting asked, are we signing him? He can't say. He doesn't know. I don't know if they have the money. I think they need to qualify for Europe if they get the money. Obviously, I think they're in he just mentioned there briefly about they beat Hearts in the Scottish Cup semi-final. So they get to the final. Obviously, that'll be a bit of extra money for them. Prize money, especially if they win it. So, obviously, it's not going to be that much, but it's better than nothing. It's extra income that they didn't plan for. So, if they get some more money, do they use it on Nisbet? Or is someone else going to come in and take Nisbet? I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. Now, this is from Friday. And it's reset itself again. Some bad news for the under-21s regarding they now are third in the table. The two teams above them played on Friday. They both won. They go on to 61 points. Millwall are on 60 points now in third place. There are 2 games to go. So what happened? Well, this is what happened. Bournemouth beat Colchester 2-0, which is no surprise. Colchester bottom of the table. And Brentford beat QPR 5-1, which again is no surprise because they are second bottom of the table. So, unfortunate. So now, what we've got going on now is on Monday, Bournemouth go away to Coventry. So, it's an away game. Maybe that might help us out. And we've got Brentford going away to Crewe. Again, an away game. Hopefully one or both of them can drop some points. Ideally lose, but, even a draw would be helpful. And then the day after that, on Tuesday, Millwall going to Wigan. And that game is set to be held at Wigan Stadium, formerly known as the JJB, when we used to play them regularly. Now it's called the Brick Community Stadium. So at the moment that's scheduled to happen. So obviously it's assumed that you can go and watch that game if you want to. And it may even be on Millwall TV Plus, because they left it late in the day for the Bristol City away game, but they did show it on Millwall TV Plus, and that was a behind closed doors game. So that was interesting that they did that, but I'm happy with that because I'm a Millwall TV Plus subscriber. So if you are a Millwall TV Plus subscriber, or you want to be, you seemingly get a lot of under 21 games live now, which is good to see. So obviously this is a must-win game, regardless of the results that happened the day before. But it's a big ask for Millwall this week, because they play 2 games in a week. They're playing Tuesday and they're playing Friday. So Friday the 2nd, 2 o'clock kickoff at the Den. And it's kind of unfortunate that, I think even if we, so let's say, if they both lose, if one of them loses, and then Mill will play 2 games until they play again. So that will help us out. So if one of them loses and Mill will win both of their games, that should guarantee them a place, which is good, because for the last home game of the season, it's being held at the Den. They want to know what they've done. Are they in or are they out? You don't want to just have a tepid round of applause from the crowd, and then you walk off and you're like, are we celebrating, or do we wait? Because obviously, if you do go through, you're going to have a semi-final, either home or away, depending where you finish. So if one of these teams loses, even if they draw, they'll get 62 points, and then Millwall will get 66, and then they've got 1 game left. And if they win that, they'll only get to 65. So we really need one of these 2 teams to drop some points. Ideally on Monday, tomorrow, because then Millwall can win both their games next week and guarantee it in their own hands. If they don't do that, or if Millwall do win both games and these teams win their games tomorrow, then we have to wait until we've got Bournemouth at home to Wigan. That's on Friday, and then on the Monday we've got, where are they? Brentford at home to Barnsley. So you would imagine that if they are going to drop points, it's going to be in the away games tomorrow. But you never know. It's a weird old system. Some of these teams might be playing. They might put do they use a junior goalkeeper or a senior goalkeeper in goal? That'll make a lot of difference in terms of Barnsley and Wigan, all that stuff. So again, ideally, all eyes on tomorrow to see the results. Hopefully one of them will drop some points and that'll help us out, and then it's up to us to win the game on Tuesday away at Wigan, and then the game at home to Hull City. So while we're here, let's have a look at the Northern Group. How's that shaping up? Oh, well, that's not too good, is it? Look, Crewe and Wigan. Okay. Coventry, though, so maybe whoever's got Coventry, was it Bournemouth who got Coventry away? Yeah. So Bournemouth have got Coventry away. Bournemouth are very good, though. So maybe they might lose that one, or drop some points in that. That would be handy. But at the moment, so Sheffield United are guaranteed a place, it looks like. And then what we've got? So can Coventry still qualify? No, they're weighted back. Hull City, it looks like the top 2 of the top 2. So yeah, that's done. I don't think Burnley can even catch up to Sheffield United. So I think it's gonna finish Sheffield United first, Burnley second. So there you go. Now, that's it for the news, really. So, if you're not sticking around for the stats, thank you for watching. But honestly, on a Sundays are stats days, and we're going to look at the game, yesterday's game. The obviously the one and only stat that matters is the goal, the scoreline. Millwall 1, Swansea City 0. But you can see if you look on this is from WhoScored.com. If you look on the right hand side, you can see top performers: George Saville, George Evans, Tristan Kramer. It's all Millwall players there. And even on dribbles, Zach Sturge, free dribbles. So go back into the middle. Millwall create a high number of chances relative to possession. That's what we do, baby. We're effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from young situations and counter-attacks and set pieces. We were poor at finishing. We lost possession often and we were caught offside often. Swansea were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from through balls, but were poor at finishing and committed a high number of individual errors. Yes, sir. So, the number of shots, 16 to 12. From open play, 8 to 9. Set piece 6 to 3. Counter attack 2 to 0. Our one goal from our 16 shots is a 6% conversion rate, which is just below the average at this level, really. So they were just going down the right hand side, which is interesting. I think maybe they thought that Zach Sturge may have been a weak link. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they didn't know that much about him, just assumed because he was a young player on loan and that had only played 1 or 2 games. And we were mostly going down our right hand side as well, 50%, which is interesting because I seem to remember Femi Aziz being on the ball a hell of a lot. So I guess they do this by probably time, which is interesting. So obviously, if you're quickly going down the left hand side, that doesn't add up to a lot. But if you're dwelling on the right hand side, that adds up to a lot. Maybe it's that, or maybe it is that. Shot directions. Shot zones. 19% of our shots were in the 6-yard box. That's good. Action zones. Player positions. Okay. Yeah, Kramer bombing on. 3 at the back. Obviously when we're in possession. Or when we're attacking, should I say. 21 and 11. That's Femi Aziz. And 21 is Coburn, is it not? Bloody hell. It's all in the numerological order. 23, 24, 25, 26. 23, George Saville. 24, Casper Denor. 25 is Luke Condell, I believe. And 26 is Ivanovic, so... that's interesting. Ivanovic dropping back. Okay. So let's move on to the next page from WhoScored.com. The match centre. A yellow card for them. George Saville scores. Then you see again Luke Condell getting dragged off, getting hooked. And I do believe he was hooked. I think, they wanted a little bit more. I think as well, we kind of shut it down, really. We were kind of like safety first, let's break. And you want George Honeyman on there just to run around and, break up play up front. Stop them from building. If they want to hit it long, they can hit it long. We've got Kramer, we've got Tanganga, we've got Jay Cooper. Hit it long. Sweet. And I think maybe that was the plan because they did bring on that Zat Fipotnik. So I figured they couldn't get through on the floor, so maybe they were just going to try and mix it up and put some balls over the top. Maybe that was the plan. Didn't really work out for them. Obviously, then they make the substitutions, and then we make a couple more as well. No wholesale changes though. If you look at the top left and the top right where the club badges are, you can see the average player rating for Millwall is 7.1 and for Swansea it's 6.35. That is quite a difference at this level. What is that, 0.8? That is a very big difference at this level. So, man of the match, according to WhoScored.com, George Saville closely behind him, George Evans, 8.2. Which I would agree with that. especially, and I think it is like that in that they are the only two players with 8 above 8. You got Kramer closely with 7.9, and then the lowest rated of the starting 11, obviously Cundle, again, I agree with that. Ivanovic 6.9, so you can see even though he didn't really do much, didn't have much of an impact in the game to some extent, 6.9, and Denor 6.9. So if we look at the total shots, who had the shots? 16 to 12. Everybody getting in on it except for George Evans, obviously being told to stay in his goal. Aziz with 5, Ivanovic 2, Saville with 2, including a goal, Coburn 1, and everybody else 1. Wow. And then you can see with them that Korean guy, they're slamming him online, saying he was absolute fucking dog's dinner. I'm not sure about that. I think that's what he had for lunch. Possession 57 to 42. George Saville 6.4. Yeah, you could see it. If you go to that Swansea page and watch the match back, you can see at times, they were ganging up on George Saville and he was just swiveling around on a pivot, getting out of situations. He was on the ball. He was absolutely amazing, George Saville. I don't know if they've started talking to him about a new contract or what, but I mean, there's something to put a rocket up his arse, because that was fantastic. Maybe it's the performance in the last game where he had 2 assists. Yeah. Maybe Alex Neil's been whispering sweet nothings in his ear. I don't know. And then Kramer. Obviously, Kramer was the out ball. Because obviously he was the one bombing forward, so he's the out ball of the 2 fullbacks. It's 5.8%. So, pass success percentage, bizarrely round number, 60 and 70. 60 for us, 70 for them. But again, George Saville low. So his passes went astray. That is quite odd. And Denor's down to 71. Now, you know why that was. I think that's at times, they were very aggressive in their pressing. Swansea, especially in the first 15 minutes. We didn't have a chance to breathe. They were all over us. It's interesting to see the pass accuracy is way down. And Cundles was at 31. Whoosh. That's probably why they hooked him off. So obviously, if you don't know, if while you're at the game, if you can have a look at the touchline or on TV, especially at away games, you'll see probably Livermore and Marshall in front of them where they're sitting. They've got like a little tripod thing, and on that is like a laptop thing, and they've got all the stats that you see in here and more probably in live time, and this does update in live time. If you're watching a game, come to the website whoscored.com. You can see the game live. It's all because this is obviously designed for betting people. For people who want to bet in live play and all of that stuff. Very big business now, So they've clearly seen that Cundle's passing is fucking dog shit, and they've yanked him off. Yeah, that is bad. That's like that is the level that you have if you're a goalkeeper, taking long shots or long goal kicks. Like, that is bad. I knew he was playing bad. You could tell, but I mean, that is 31%. Obviously, he went off after 58 minutes. So how much passes did he actually have to make? Or is it just because it's a small sample size, it's kind of an anomaly? But I mean, George Evans, 64%. That is good. He's good. He is good with the ball at his feet. And he's a good passer of the ball, good kicker of the ball. Very good. Obviously, he saved a lot of these shots yesterday that he had to save. So, dribbles 8 to 4. Aerials 151 to 19. What? 51 to 19? 51 to 19? What the hell? 10 from Coburn, 5 from Ivanovic, 5 from Aziz, 9 from Kramer, 6 from Cooper. Everyone except for Denor, even George Evans. He came out for that cross, which he punched it away, which is good to see. Man, that is insane. 51 aerials won. Now, see how many aerials were lost. We'll find out when we go to FB Ref. Tackles 10 to 13. Again, not a lot of tackling. But interesting, their front three had 3 tackles spread between them because of the high pressing stuff that they were doing. Whereas we're sitting deeper and it's Denor, Saville and Tanganga with the most tackles. Corners 4 to 7. These are the players who won the corners. Dispossessed, having the ball taken off of you. Okay. So now let's move on to this, also from whoscored.com. And here you can see the scores for the players. It's sorted by order. So we've got number 1, George Saville, 8.53 with the goal. George Evans, 8.19. Excellent performance from George Evans. Tristan Crammer, 7.94. Zach Sturridge, 7.48. He was the 4th best player. Jake Cooper, 7.36. And then we got 7s in Aziz Coburn, he went off early. And Tanganga, 7.05, who did not make the team of the year, the EFL team of the year. The EFL awards taking place tonight, and they chose 2 Burnley centre backs, which is obviously understandable because they are an impressive defensive unit. They've barely conceded any goals, but I guess it's understandable. But when you compare player by player, Tanganga and them, there are, like, it's obviously stats based, but obviously they didn't pick it on stats, so you can understand why they would do that. But obviously, as it should be, the 3 substitutes are the ones at the lower because they've had less time on the pitch. That's how it goes. So interestingly, they didn't outperform Luke Cundle. So even though George Honeyman came on to replace Luke Cundle, wasn't playing that well. He, in the 30 minutes that he was on the pitch, didn't get a score higher than Luke Cundle. But it did help see out the game. He had 17 touches of the ball to 19 touches with Luke Cundle, which is interesting because Luke Cundle was on the pitch for twice as long. And George Honeyman's passing accuracy was 80%. 80%, which looks to be the second highest. What else are we looking at? So how many shots did we have? Was it 16, wasn't it? Something like that. So how many were actually on target? Doesn't look like a lot. 4. Yeah, so again, this is kind of how badly we were playing. We need to be better than this next week, for sure. So we either need to be more clinical, or I think we need to be more clinical because, we're playing Burnley, one of the best defences in the history of the league. That's insane, the amount of clean sheets they've kept. So it's probably going to be closer to, I would imagine, we'll probably get 4 or 5 shots if we're lucky next week, and we'll need to score 1 or 2 goals, which is 50%, which is insane. So, we either need to get lucky or, I don't know, figure it out. Alex Neil, have a think, figure that out. Maybe we get a penalty. Does the ref give a lot of penalties away? Maybe we can do some of the dark hearts. Aaron Connolly, can you dive and get a penalty? That would be good. They don't seem to give a lot of penalties. I don't know if it's just me, but is anyone out there who can figure out how many penalties have been given this season in the Championship compared to last season? I imagine it must be way down because they're just waving things off after, they've turned basically football into rugby now. It's a contact sport, but again, it went for a period where it wasn't, and now they've gone back to you can literally do what Leeds were doing in the 70s and punch someone in the face and play on. So nice. Yeah, nice when it's your club getting away with it, not when you're the one who's missing out on the penalty. Femi Aziz at the bar as well. If we go to, we'll click on that to refresh this because it's been so long queued up that it didn't do that. So we were offsides a lot apparently, 3 times. Well, I guess that is a lot. 1 every 30 minutes though. So what else have we got? Defensively, who did what? We have Tanganga 2 tackles, Denor 2 tackles, Saville 2 tackles. Interceptions, Crammer 4, George Saville 1. Clearances, Jake Cooper 10, Tanganga 6. This is a lot of clearances. So a clearance is how many times you're clearing the ball from an opponent's attack. So how many times are we attacking? Look at this. About 30. No, and we did tackle him. What it was? Aerial duels 51. Insane amount of aerial duels won. 10 clearances. Tanganga 6. Kramer 5. Ivanovic 4. Yeah, he did a very clear one that he defended from a corner. He headed the ball away, and it's like, wow, this is, thank God for that. Saville with 3. Blocked shots. Obviously, they didn't have that many shots. Zach Sturge, Casper Denor, and Luke Condell. Interesting. Okay, so let's move on to FB Ref and see what we can see. The XG we can see in the middle, 1.6 to Millwall, 1 to Swansea. So George Evans prevented 1 goal with his saves. Clearly, 1 goal. That is very good goalkeeping to deny that amount of XG. That's basically if he would have saved the penalty, but he spread it out over 4 shots. And we got 1.6. Maybe we should have got 2 goals. Just on the cusp there, or whether if it was 1.8, then definitely should have been got 2, but 1.6 just in between in it. So let's have a look what we're looking at. So possession 42 to 58, passing accuracy 56 to 69 according to this website. We had 324 passes, they had 442. Shots on target, 4 of 16 of ours, and for them it was 4 of 12, 33%. For them, 25% for us, so they were more clinical. Saves, we made 4 of 4 saves. So I say we, George Evans, that's 100%. Their keeper made 3 of 4, that's 75%. And the one that he missed, that was the winning goal. So, fouls 11 to 9, corners 4 to 7, crosses 15 to 29, touches of the ball 448 to 566, tackles 10 to 13, interceptions 5 and 5, aerials 1. Now they're giving it as 50 to 19. 50. Clearances 38 to 34. Offsides 3 to 1, goal kicks 8 to 9, throw-ins 21 to 33, and long balls 84 to 89. And here we go, the Mill squad. Shot creating actions, which is that there, the 2 offensive actions leading directly to a shot. And the leader in that was Femiasis with 6, and then George Saville with 6, and Denor with 4. Interesting. So, Luke Condell, what was wrong with his passing? 13 passes attempted, only completed 4. 30.8. Yeah, even for the goal, no, not the goal, the first chance that Coburn had in. So Condell breaks away. He hasn't got the speed to run at a goal, and he knows it. So he does a little. He gets stood up, does a little pirouette, turns back, swings around. Coburn's running through. Looked to me like he was offside. They didn't give it, but he kicks it through. But even that. He hit a Swansea player, and we just got a lucky deflection that carried on through to Coburn. And then Coburn runs through, and just as he's about to shoot it, he gets a little nudge from the Swansea guy, just enough to put him off, not enough to get a penalty or something like that. So yeah, even that one Condell kind of fluffed up, didn't he? What else should we look at? Passing wise, we're just spinning through this stuff. So what was Luke Condell's passing in terms of short, medium and long? Okay. So his short passing was 8 of 12. His medium passing was bang on, 4 of 4. And his long passing was 0 for 3. Okay. So a lot of these short passes are not very good. So you can see obviously the pressing from the Swansea team. Short passing is passes between 5 and 15 yards. And you've got Coburn at 50%, Aziz at 66, Condell at 33, Ivanovic at 54, Even Winter when he came on 50%, obviously that's 1 and 2. That's not a lot. So bizarrely, their medium range passing seems to be a lot better than their short passing. Wow, that is except for it looks like Zach Sturge. His medium passing was worse than his short passing. 10 of 17, and his long passing was 0 of 7. Ooh. Okay. Pass types. Yep. Okay. Defensive actions. So, yeah, tackles, challenges. Number of dribblers tackled. So obviously they're trying to dribble. Aziz 100%, Honeyman 100%, Saville, Denor, Sturge 1 of 2, and Cooper 0 of 1, and Wintle 0 of 1. Possession. So take-ons. Millwall dribbling. How did we do dribbling? 2 and 1. 2 attempts, 1 successful for Femi Aziz, 3 and 2 for Ivanovic, 2 and 1 for Jules Saville, 3 of 3 for Zach Sturge. Not bad. Kramer 2 of 1. 50%. He had that one where he bombed down, didn't he? He just run. And then he realised he was in front of goal and took a shot. That was a bit fluffed. So carries of the ball. Number of times the player controlled the ball with their feet. The distance in yards that they moved it while controlling it with their feet. And how many of that yards was forwards. Wow. So Emaku came on. He had 17 minutes on the pitch. 1 carry of the ball for 3 yards. And none of that was forwards. But man, look at this. Look at this. Josh Coburn. 7 carries of the ball for 8 yards and 0 of that was progressive distance. Does that not include that chance he had on goal? Surely that's wrong. That must be wrong. Maybe they're going to have to update it. Because if you didn't know, what they do is they kind of have an AI computer model watch the game back, and then it kind of ticks everything up. It adds it all up. So they do that in live time as the game's going on, and then within 24 hours they redefine it and they fix it by getting it to actually do it properly. So who actually did well here then? No one really. Zach Sturge, I guess. 18 carries of the ball for 86 yards, which isn't a lot, but 60 yards of that was forwards. But obviously he is a left back, so he's at the back. He has to go forward, I guess. I guess Luke Cundle actually. 6 carries of the ball for 37 yards. That would include his busting run for that first shot. 37 yards distance, 23 yards forwards. Yeah. Not the best of games yesterday, was it? So here we go. Aerial duels won 50. Lost 19. That's a 72.5% win rate for the whole team. But how does it work out player by player? Well, Josh Coburn is 10 and 4. Aziz is 5 and 1. Cundle's 1 and 1. Honeyman's 1 and 1. The two smallest players on the team, sort of. Ivanovic 5 and 3. Jules Saville 4 and 1. Denord 0 and 2. Zach Sturge 4 and 0. Jake Cooper 6 and 2. Tanganga 2 and 2. Kramer 9 and 2. And George Evans 1 and 0. So there you go. Now, shot stopping. Here we go. Shots on target against 4. Goals against 0. Saves 4. Save percentage 100%. Post shot XG 0.1. Which is interesting because obviously we saw that the XG was 1. So the post shot XG went down, which meant that he was positioned better to make the saves. And he made the saves. So there you go. Passes 20. Free throws 75% launching the ball. And average length of each pass is 50.4 yards. Goal kicks 8. He didn't launch all of them. 87.5% launch rate. The average length of a goal kick was 59.6. Crosses, 25 crosses from the opponent into our penalty area. He stopped one of them. That's a stop percentage of 4%. And his average distance from his goal line was 8.7 yards. Yeah, absolute fantastic performance from George Evans, and you're saying, well, put him back in. No, I'm saying let him go out on a high. The only way is down. He set the standard. This is the standard. This is the standard that he's at. He's set the standard. Can he do it again in the next game? Highly unlikely. He's not a seasoned player. And we were playing a very poor team. We're playing a team that's a lot better next week. So here we go. Here's the shots, and I didn't realise it was this bad, but that second half was very frustrating to watch. And it was like the Alamo, because here we go. In the second half, we only had 3 shots, and they had what looks to be about 10. And in the first half, they only had 1 shot, and we had every other shot. So wow, I didn't realise it was like that. So here we go. Obviously, the first shot of the game. Could have scored, should have scored, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Josh Coburn on 4 minutes, 0.37 XG, post shot XG 0.22. So obviously that means the goalkeeper did something right, because it went down. And then we've got Zach Sturge taking a long one for 29 yards. They took a shot that was blocked. And then, Jake Cooper header from 13 yards that got saved. George Saville off target, Tanganga off target, Aziz blocked, Dinor blocked, Femi Aziz again blocked, but that block shots he led to, it bubbled up, ended up going to George Saville, who ended up scoring 0.24 to 0.22 goal. So even though he was literally right there, he was about 3 yards out, it still somehow the XG went down. Which is interesting. Femi Aziz at the woodwork, 2 minutes after that, with a header. And then Femi Aziz off target. Luke Cundle blocked. Femi Aziz saved. And then second half, whoa, what's going on here then? And this is probably why, Luke Cundle got hooked. Because I imagine Alex Neil saw into the future and thought, fuck, we're in for it now. They're running us ragged. We're going to this is going to be a problem. Because you've got off target, saved. That was a good chance. That 0.44, that was the best chance of the game. In terms of XG, that was the highest chance. He was literally right there. He was literally right there. And he got saved. 11 yards right-footed. Saved by George Evans. Ivanovic off target. And then this Vopotnik guy, header, got saved again. Off target, header. Blocked, off target. Saved. That again was a good save. 0.14, it went up to 0.18. They got saved. Cram off target. And blocked from Ivanovic, and then down at off target at the end of the game. So there you go. That's it for the stats. I mean, and here we go. We got to go to Burnley next week, and we got to play better than this, because this is not very good, apart from the Aerials one. So yeah. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.